Hi children! So today we are carrying on with our Bible character series and we're going to look at Zacchaeus today. But before we do that, I thought we'd play a little game of I Spy with some of these objects over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to either give you the colour or the first letter of the word, and you have to see if you can guess what the item I'm thinking of is. So let's have a go. I spy with my little eye something that is yellow. What could that be? You think it's the banana? Well, the banana is yellow, but I was thinking of this little Pluto dog here. Let's have another go, shall we? So, I spy with my little eye something beginning with curly K or C. Oh, yes, it's the car. Well done. I spy with my little eye something that is white. Ooh, what could it be? Yes, it's the ball. If you said glue stick, you were close, because that's white too, but it was the ball. Let's have another go, shall we? So, I spy with my little eye something beginning with it or I. Yes, you got it. It's ice cream. I spy with my little eye something that is blue. Yes, the box of Rice Krispies. Last one, let's see if you can get this one right. I spy with my little eye something beginning with T or T. Ooh, is that a tricky one? The answer is actually tree. I think I tricked you there, didn't I? Because it's on this side, not that side. So as I said, we're looking at Zacchaeus today. But who was Zacchaeus? Well, Zacchaeus was a Jewish man. He was a short man. He was a chief tax collector and he wasn't liked very much. What's a tax collector? Well, in Jesus' time, Israel, where Jesus came from, was ruled by the Romans, and they employed Jewish people, that's the people who lived in Israel, to collect taxes from other Jewish people for the Romans. Now, the Jewish people didn't like the Romans, and they definitely didn't like tax collectors. They saw them as traitors because they took money from the Jewish people, their own people, and gave it to the Romans. Do you know why tax collectors were often rich? Well, there was a set amount that had to be paid in tax, and anything over that amount, the tax collectors got to keep the change. So what the tax collectors used to do is they used to charge more than they needed to so that they could keep all the money left over, and that made them rich. And so the Jewish people felt that the tax collectors were not only traitors, but they were cheats to get more money for themselves. Well, Zacchaeus met Jesus, and I thought we'd see what happened when he met him.
Good morning, boys and girls. This is a story about Zacchaeus. Hello, Zac. Every night he went to sleep, Zac would dream about how he was the shortest man in all of Jericho. Zac thought about growing himself a beard to make himself look older and more important, but it just looked wrong. So Zac found a job where he could make lots of money. Perhaps being short wouldn't be so bad if he was rich. He began working for the Roman government, and that's when the trouble started. Each day, Zac would sit at the town gates. As people came to the market, Zac calculated how much tax they needed to pay and collected the money from them. As he watched the box fill with money each day, Zac began to wish he could have some of it for himself. He came up with a clever plan to make people pay just a little bit more than they needed to. That's how Zac started to get rich, by stealing other people's money. Zac was a cheater.
One day, Zac heard that Jesus was coming to town. He really wanted to see Jesus, but he was too short to see over the crowd, and nobody liked Zac the cheater. Then Zac got a bright idea. Back down the road was a fig tree. It was pretty easy to climb and would give him just the view he needed. If he was really lucky, Zac would be able to get a closer look at this man who he had heard so much about. The crowd moved closer until the people were all around. Jesus stopped and looked up. "Hello, Zac. I'm so glad to see you here. Come down. Let's go to your house and have lunch." Zac was so happy. Jesus wanted to spend time with him. Zac didn't want to be a cheat anymore. To show he was sorry, he decided to give half his money to the poor and pay back 4 times what he had stolen. Zac realised that people were much more important than money. He celebrated the best friendship he could ever have.
What a great video. So, when Jesus passed through Jericho, why couldn't Zacchaeus see him? Yes, because he was too short and he couldn't see over the crowd. So what did Zacchaeus do? Yes, he ran ahead and he climbed up a tree so that he could see over the crowd. But why do you think Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus so desperately? Yes, he'd probably heard of Jesus changing people and healing people, and he wanted to see this person for himself. But he also could have had a deep desire in his heart to change, didn't want to be the traitor and cheat that everybody thought he was anymore. He wanted to be loved and accepted. So when Jesus got to Zacchaeus' tree, what did Jesus say to Zacchaeus? Yes, come down. I want to have lunch at your house. I'm going to your house today. Absolutely. And that's the thing about Jesus, you see. He doesn't look on the outside of a person. He doesn't look at the job they do or what other people says. He looks at what's on their heart, and he knew in Zacchaeus' heart he really wanted to change. So he encouraged him and loved him and accepted who he was. And what did Zacchaeus do after he'd had his lunch with Jesus? What did he say? Yes, he said, I'm going to give half of my money to the poor, and anyone I've cheated, I'm going to give them 4 times as much as I've cheated them. Wow, that's a big change, isn't it, children? Well, Jesus loves, accepts and encourages all of us to be the best people that we can be. And he wants us to love, accept and encourage other people around us. So this week, do you think you could encourage the people around you? You could say things like, keep going, I know you can do it. Don't give up. It'll be a good achievement when you get there. Things like that. Do you think you could do that for people this week? I think we need to pray and ask Jesus to help us with that, don't we? So let's get in our prayer positions and pray. So, dear Jesus, thank you that you love us, accept us and encourage us. Please help us to love, accept and encourage those around us in all we do and say. Help us and others to be the best that they can be. And then roll your arms. Amen. So we have played a game. We have watched our video. We've had our discussion. We've done our prayer. What time is it now, children? Yes, it's crafting time. So this week we are going to make this Zacchaeus in a tree, a Rice Krispie tree. So what will you need for a Zacchaeus Rice Krispie tree? Well, you will need some Rice Krispies or Rice Puffs or similar cereal, some white chocolate, a chocolate mini roll, some green icing sugar, and either some Sour Patch Kids or some gummy bears will do. So what do we do? Well, first of all, get yourself a plate and a chocolate mini roll. Unwrap your chocolate mini roll and put it on your plate. Then take your chocolate and put it in a bowl like this. So you break up the different squares and then put that in the microwave for about a minute. Be careful when taking it out of the microwave. It could be hot. So do use some gloves. And what you can do to make it safe for the children is pour it into another bowl. And then stir it all up so it's nice and smooth like this. Then what you want to do, you need about 5 to 10 drops of the green food colouring. And we'll drop that in. Oh, I think that was quite a few. So you want quite a green colour because it's to make a tree. So we'll mix that in and you can see as you go. See that going nice and green there? I think that's probably okay for a tree. You could add more in if you want it darker or just keep it quite light if you like. So that'll do. Then what we need to do next is mix in our Rice Krispies. So let's pour some in there. You need to cover them with the white chocolate. So let's give that a good stir. So once you've mixed that up and you've got all the Rice Krispies in there, you could add a bit more if you want the Rice Krispies to go a bit more green. And then what we do is we bring back the chocolate mini roll and using your spoon, take your big blob. If you're doing more than one, then you'll probably want a little bit less, and just very gently make it into a sort of, you can do this with your hands actually, I might do it with my fingers, and just make it round to look like a tree. Press the Rice Krispies around your chocolate roll. If you don't want it to stick to the plate, you can put some parchment paper or greaseproof paper underneath, because we'll pop that in the fridge and it'll probably stick to the plate. So if you pop some parchment paper and greaseproof paper underneath, that will stop it from sticking. And then with your Sour Patch Kid or your gummy bear, pop him in the tree like that. And there's your Zacchaeus in a tree. And if you've got more gummy bears or Sour Patch Kids, you could put one at the bottom of the tree or a few at the bottom of the tree as the crowd and Jesus. Pop that in the fridge for till it's chilled, probably half an hour or so. And then you can feed it to the kids and hopefully it'll be a yummy treat. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this session. Don't forget to love, accept and encourage everyone you come into contact with this week. And have a great, safe week. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye, children. Goodbye.